Hey, look, obviously it's been a pretty tough season for Auckland FC. You know, what's been talked about here at the club as to what's going wrong and how you guys can correct things? You know?
I don't think it's been a tough season at all, to be honest.
Sorry, a tough month.
Oh, a tough month? Yeah. Yeah, obviously the last 3 games not ideal. But in saying that, you know, we started the season off really well, so you're going to have dips in form. It's a part of the game. But for us now, it's about focusing on what we can do to change that, and yeah, we've been doing that. We obviously know that with the few wins that we're straight back to the top, so that's just the focus really.
That's it, because I mean, obviously this club did come in and had so much success, even the start of this season with a lot of success. So is it almost a bit of a curse on the club that because it's been surrounded by success since its inception, that it, you know, 3 games like this suddenly looks a lot bigger than maybe it really is?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we hold ourselves to a very high standard, so anytime we lose, you know, it's really disappointing. We want to win every game, and we want to, you know, be 9 points clear, not, you know, third. So yeah, it's obviously, but I think that you know, that drives us. You know, when we have people that are criticising us for being third, it's nothing but, you know, I think it's a positive, to be honest. It means that we're a really good team. So yeah, it's up to us now to turn that around.
In terms of the attack, you've been one of the big goal scoring threats for the club this season. What's been going right for you that you've been able to produce for the club down at the attacking end?
I'd say off the pitch, to be honest, just in a better place mentally. I'm really happy here. Obviously, you know, met some good people. Everyone's been great. So yeah, I think, you know, when things are going well off the pitch, it can help on the pitch, and obviously that's working. But I'd say that's probably one of the main things for sure.
Awesome, all the best against Sydney.
Thank you, mate.
On Jesse signing Scotland come next season, how cool is that? That someone who's sort of in a similar vein of form to you is getting an opportunity over there.
Yeah, I think it's massive for him. Obviously, you know, he hasn't been playing pro football for a long time. I think it's his 2nd season, and you know, he's been doing really well. He seems to be getting better every game as well, and he's young, and you know, it's a good league for him to go over to. And any move, you know, for a player going over to Europe is massive. So we're all buzzing for him.
Is it a similar step you'd see in your career in the next couple of years?
I'm pretty happy here at the moment, but football's crazy. You never know what's going to happen. Things can change in a week, let alone, you know, a year or so. So yeah, for now I'm happy here. I don't really try to focus too much on the future. Yeah, just do everything I can every day, and everything will work itself out.
On your goalkeeper situation, obviously Woud was dropped, and then what's happened to Ollie has happened, I suppose. How has the boys been able to get back around Michael this week?
It's a tough situation. Obviously, we're all devastated for Ollie. He's a great kid, and you know, he's been waiting for his chance, and unfortunately got injured. So yeah, we're all getting around him. But yeah, the same for Woudi as well. But we know he's a good keeper. He's been doing it all season. Obviously, he's shown that he's capable of doing a job. So for him, it's much the same. It's just, yeah, he's back in the side, and I'm sure he'll do well.
Is there a chance that he might lack some confidence because he was sort of dropped and brought straight back in?
I don't think so. He's a confident guy. He knows his ability, and if there is any of that, I'm sure that the lads will get it out of him anyway before the game starts. So I think we should be all sweet.
And as mentioned before, how crucial is it, I suppose, to get back on a run of form, sort of in the middle of the season when the table's so tight?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, the table is really tight at the moment. So yeah, we got 3 games, Sydney twice, and obviously the big derby. So it's a perfect 3-game sort of turnaround period for us, and something that we're really looking forward to.
Is it quite a cool opportunity to sort of have like a home and away leg style game with how it's been sort of rescheduled?
Yeah, I've touched on that before. It's an interesting sort of situation to be in. Obviously, you rarely find yourself playing the same team twice in a row. But yeah, it's for us. It doesn't really change too much. You know, it's sometimes can work well. You know, you can figure out how they're playing, and you know, they don't really have a lot of time to change things. Neither do we. So yeah, no, it's going to be interesting.
You're not a particularly big fan of Sydney.
Me?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Well, they see it as a Western Sydney client that you were.
Oh, look, it's yeah, it's one of those ones. Obviously, I've played against them in derbies before, and to be fair, I don't like any team that I play against. Even, you know, my old clubs are in the game. I don't like them. I want to win. So the team that I play for is a team that I like. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter who I come up against. I want to win.
Steve, first off, look, obviously a bit of a tough month for the club. You know, what's been going wrong? How do you correct things going forward for, you know, 2 big games against Sydney and then obviously another derby?
Yeah, obviously it's been a not a good month for picking up points and results, and I would say majority of it comes down to, you know, lost the focus a little bit towards the end of the games because we're conceding a few goals, which we never really have done that before. Individual errors. The positive is we're still playing really well with the ball, even defending well. We're limiting teams to not a lot of shots, but we're still continuing we're conceding a couple of goals, which is probably the most disappointing bit. As I think we're pretty strong defensively. So the focus has to come back. Obviously, late in games, we can't afford to give away opportunities for teams to score and to get back into games or to win games. So that's really the focus. We've had a really good run, like you said, but this is going to happen at some stage. It was going to happen. So we're never going to be, top forever. There's other teams in the competition that are good teams, and I think we're missing a little bit of luck at the moment. We probably had that last season. Towards the end of games, we were scoring goals. We're conceding them this year. But again, it's about the group sticking together, everyone working for the same reason, and that's to win football games. And if we continue doing that, things will look a lot better.
Any updates on Ollie Sale?
Yeah, he had his operation yesterday. He'd probably be out for about 6 to 7 months, I think. So devastating for him. Obviously, his first game against Perth, which was his old club. I'm obviously gutted for him, and everyone is. But he's in good spirits. I spoke to him last night after the operation, and it's more about when you have these injuries. I've had them before. They've been out for long periods. It's just about having the right mental strength to get through it and to continue doing everything you can to get back to full fitness.
Obviously, the goalkeeping stocks are a bit limited at the moment. You've still got Michael around, though. How's that conversation been with him after, Ollie obviously came in for that game against Perth?
Well, I think he's got obviously his second chance really quickly. So it's up to him now again. Obviously, Joe Knowles is injured as well from our goalkeeping ranks as well. So we obviously need to bring a goalkeeper in, whether it's from the reserve team or elsewhere. We'll obviously have a look at that.
And just on Jesse, obviously signing to go play in Scotland next season. How cool is that? Someone in your team has sort of got an opportunity to move on to the UK.
Yeah, obviously it's fantastic. Obviously we'd have liked him to stay in the group. Obviously, it could have been opportunities for him, but obviously he's went down that route, and I'm happy for him. He's for me it's more about how he finishes this season off. What I see at the moment, he's doing really well. Obviously scored another good goal on the weekend against Perth. He's working hard. Obviously he's doing his best for us, but also to get into the national team for a World Cup. And then obviously, the Dundee thing is obviously next year, and that's probably in the back of his mind as well. But providing focus on this year and gets the job done for us, which is great.
He's not your only striker that's scoring a lot of goals this season. Is there a worry that you actually might lose a couple more?
Football's obviously, it can happen. The window is closing quickly, obviously, but for next season, you never know. We've got a lot of players out of contract that, some we want to resign, some might have to move on. That's football. Obviously Lockie Brook is doing really well. I think they're all on 6 goals. Sam, I'd like, another player to step up a little bit to take some of the scoring responsibilities off them 3 as well. We saw last year Logan scoring 9, Gushamo 9 or 10. So, they're the players that actually can do it as well. And whether that's off the bench or starting, it's obviously helps when you get more goals.
And just back to Michael, how confident are you that he can bounce back after being dropped and being brought straight back in?
I think it's a perfect time. He gets a second opportunity to show exactly what he can do. For me, I think he had a good start to the season. I think the last couple of games, I think he's made a couple of errors, and which was the decision to change him. But he knows what he's done and how good he can play. And I spoke to him today. He seems in good spirits, and he's going to have to be.
Stark contrast from last season, where you're scoring in like the 90-plus minute to now that being on the end of that, I guess, in some cases. Is there anything that changed season to season to sort of suggest why that would happen?
Not really. It really only started against Melbourne City, which was 3 weeks ago. It was the first time we've ever lost from a leading margin. So, but since then, obviously, the Central Coast game, they come back and got a draw out of it. We didn't lose, obviously, but we expect to win that game at home. And then obviously against Perth, it happened again. So it's a confidence thing as well. It's like winning. When you're winning games, it just comes naturally. And when you're conceding goals late on. Obviously, then when that happens, and that period comes again this weekend, they'll start to think about it, and it's how we deal with it, and the mentality, the strength that we have to get through that period.
And is the arc of this season more similar to what would be a normal season as opposed to last season?
Yeah, well, if you look at it, we were on top right up until last weekend. So up until then, even though I think the results this month haven't been great for us, up until then, that was, we've had a great start to the season, and we're still in a good position right now. I think the league is a lot closer this year from top to bottom. So probably the team that wins the league probably won't maybe get as many points as we did last year, I think, because everyone's beaten everyone. So we'll see.
Jake, first off, look, I know you're wearing the Auckland kit, but am I to understand you grew up as a Sydney FC supporter and even a member?
Yeah, I supported the club when I was younger, from what I can remember, 5-ish. But I was in the academy for a number of years and then all the way through the first team, so I was there for about 7 years, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's obviously you played for them as well. So how is it now, I guess, going up against that after, a childhood of looking up to that club?
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a weird one, but I haven't been there for 2 years now, and obviously I'm here as an Auckland player now, so when I step on that pitch, I'm going to do the business. But obviously I have still a lot of love for that club because, I grew up there and I was there for so long.
Yeah, has the nature of the last month been able to bring the group closer together or split you apart at all?
No, for sure, together. I mean, obviously, when you're winning, everything's good and stuff like this, but when you're losing, this is the time to stay together. And this group, and as soon as I came in my first week, I felt the closeness of the group, so nothing can be broken with that.
Have the senior players really stood up in the past just a week or two to try and bring you guys back together?
Yeah, for sure, but I think everyone as well. I think I've said my part. I think, everyone needs to stick together. It's simple as that. And I think we need to show that we're the best team in the league, and we have a good run of games. We've got Sydney twice, and then we've got the derby. So I think these next 3 games is really important for the season.